Man has enough respect. No family, we've been asking in our videos and even in the comment section where the pastor them there, the church there. But no, the church came out. The church come out and the church come out strong. So I'm gonna read what the church say. Because when we are bonfire and we see results and things that take place, I have to bring it to my audience and make you know say I see moves. Me also have a video me also have a couple clips to play for you guys. Nigel Clark really struggling to explain this humongous periods. People, Jamaica cannot afford this. Because Nigel Clark tell the teacher them say, no, the country cannot afford this. The country has struggled. But now the country have money. Now the country have money to give this periods. So let's start from where the church has say. Shameful and immoral, says the church group, of massive salary increase for parliamentarians. I agree with the church. Head of the Holiness, you know the church name? Head of the Holiness Christian Church. Oh, ironic. Head of the Holiness Christian Church and President of the Jamaica Evangelical Alliance, Bishop Dr. Alvin Bailey, has described the decision by the government to substantially increase the salaries of parliamentarians as a blatant and unconscionable assault on the country's recovering fiscal standing. The senior clergyman has called on Minister of Finance Dr. Nigel Clark to withdraw the plan, which he said was shameful and immoral decision. This move shows insensitivity on the part of the government, especially as the minister cited economic constraint as the reason he appealed to the members of the public sector to accept the recent compensation packages that were below their expectations, Bishop Bailey said. In addition, he said, it seemed Dr. Clark had shortchanged many hardworking Jamaicans in order to guarantee high salary for his colleagues and political friends, with the approval of the opposition. Even clergyman can say the opposition tie up in it. The latter of which is now backtracking on its part following public outcry. He noted that the acceptance by the parliamentarians of the unjustifiable astronomical increase in salaries at this time has seriously compromised their moral authority, especially as they are yet to convince the average Jamaican that they are giving value for money in representing the needs of the citizens, as well as managing the country's resources with equity and without giving a priority to their personal greed. This latest round of proposal salary increase guaranteed over 3 years has demonstrated that both government and opposition members are seeking to secure their standard of living in the coming years, which will be way above the average, that of the average Jamaican, Bishop Bailey noted. Let me read this part again. This is the latest round of proposed salary. This latest round of proposed salary increases guaranteed over 3 years has demonstrated that both government and opposition members are seeking to secure their standard of living in the coming years, which will be way above that of the average Jamaican, Bishop Bailey noted. The clergy said he would be promoting a public campaign with the support of the church, private sector and all well-thinking Jamaicans, both locally and abroad, to speak out against this injustice to the citizens of Jamaica, and said he was prepared to protest until the increase was satisfactorily reviewed. Pastor, I agree with you. Pastor, the whole of we agree with you. People don't agree with the pastor. We don't agree with the clergyman. Pastor speak the thing. This is immoral. Immoral. Give everybody 20%. I want to grab up 100, 200, 300%. This is immoral. Give a little teacher them nibbles and bit. And from the little teachers nibbles and bit, we must feed on a giant. We must feed on a greed. From the police nibbles and bit that they might get. From the fireman nibbles and bits they might get. Correctional officer nibbles and bit. From the taxes from the poor Jamaicans, everything will go up. We expect the poor Jamaicans to fund on a big lavish life. The wall on that drive Range Rover out there. When in the sick on the fire overseas. The wall on sit in the office. See Miss Honest in the office there now. So $800 million construction project is in jeopardy because some lawsuit in a court. It show you the clear corruption in a everything that come out, you know. Everything that come out in a clear sight, you know. So Miss Honest there. She has somebody who have adjoining land, it seems, to one of our development in a court. Tangled up in a court. She claims say like a 800, if I'm not mistaken, or $800 million investment. Miss Honest, you know. The Prime Minister wife, you know. Says she have a $800 million construction, development people, investment. She said it's in jeopardy if she don't get away from the name. They are sued people in a court right now. It's showing the level of corruption. Or you go in if you serve the local poor people then, but you're busy to take care of this massive construction here. Where do you get money from? How about this here? Who not shipping stuff in the country? People, them not do work. Up here hustling and go on. But anyway, let me continue with my story. Because I have more stuff to play for you guys. We don't like the hustling in the office. We like fair politician. We rather for politicians who have a heart for the people. Not politicians without heart. Look for the good people. When I look for the good, if them people have heart. No heart for the people. So, me go play Nigel Clark I try to explain himself. And the lady on TV, Jim, I forgot her name. She hold him feet to the fire. He tried to go over there with some big old graph, some big old card, and something print out. I try to explain to her how him give principal increase and doctor and nurse increase and all these people. Everybody when give increase in a high position. The people them down a lower level, dog food them I eat. Yes, people, it's tough on them. The people them on lower level, the local teacher them, a principal people me tell you guys before that. Before this race come in, me tell you guys in a video say, what them I do is compensate the bigger people them. So when they don't get out of hand, so they come out come protest, them have the bigger people them down up there to put down the hammer because them now go against them big pay. You see what the people, this is some crazy stuff are going on in Jamaica, you know. The judges again. Judges get 100% raise, some 200% raise. Judges, this is immoral. Them shouldn't take this raise, them should give it back. Well, the pastor said him go out there to protest until something is done. Let's see the church take the lead for once. Let's see the church take the lead for once, man. Come on. We always do. And ask for the church there. So people make a play a clip for you guys and I want you to listen. Real good.
Thank you so much for joining us for another edition of All Angles. I'm Dion Jackson Malone.
Jackson.
In today's program, widespread outrage after Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark announced increased salaries for parliamentarians yesterday. He's in studio with me. We'll be talking to him about that. But before that, Andrea Chisholm has this overview to remind you of the numbers.
The biggest salary increase will go to Prime Minister Andrew Holness. In 2021, his salary was roughly $9.2 million per year, plus a telephone allowance. As of April 2022, it jumps to over $22.3 million. For April 2023, it moves to roughly $25.3 million. And by April 2024, another increase to almost $28.6 million. For the Deputy Prime Minister, the salary was over 8 million for the year, and now it moves to over 20 million in year 1, over 22.7 million in year 2, and over 25.7 in year 3. For Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark, his salary was over $7.4 million for the year, plus the telephone allowance and housing of roughly $285,000. The new salary, over 19 million in year 1, over 21.7 million in year 2, and roughly 24.6 million in year 3. Now to Opposition Leader Mark Golding. He also got the housing and telephone allowances, and the April 2021 salary was over $8 million for the year. As of April 2022, he will get over $20 million. In April 2023, over 22.7 million, and by April 2024, over $25.7 million. A cabinet minister's salary was roughly 6.9 million for the year. In year 1, it is close to 17.9 million, then over 20.2 million, then close to $23 million. Now to the Speaker of the House. The salary was close to 6.9 million. In April 2022, it will move to close to 17.9 million for the year, then to over 20.2 million, then close to $23 million.
Yeah.
For a Minister of State, the old salary was over $6 million for the year. It now moves to over $14.2 million, then over 16.1 and close to 18.3 million. A regular parliamentarian would make over 4.3 million for the year in salary. It will now move to over 11 million in year 1, then over 12.5 million and over $14.2 million.
Yeah.
Thanks as always, Andrea. And Minister, the Advocates Network has called the increases unacceptable, unconscionable, and unfair. There's been, as I mentioned, wide-scale outrage. Let me just share just a few
Sorry, people. Sorry, my hand touched something.
Let me just share just a few social media comments here. Holy. Gerald says disproportionate compared to what civil servants got, very self-serving. Kigon says, I don't see the justification for MPs to get such high pay. It makes sense that cabinet members get paid similar to senior executives, but only if they satisfy similar requirements. And Fefen says the percentage increase should match what the civil servants got. Even then, I'd say a current government would use a median, the average of the lowest and the highest. It would show solidarity with the people you're taxing. We spoke 24 hours ago and you were saying you thought if people understood the background, then they would be accepting of the increases. So 24 hours later, have you been surprised at the level of outrage and anger?
Well, Dan, some of the comments that you have just shared sort of demonstrate that some of the information that we're trying to provide has not necessarily seeped in. And I would want to just start this evening by just making sure we're on the same page as far as information is concerned. These, what you describe as increases for parliamentarians and ministers, has happened in the context of a broad public sector restructuring, compensation restructuring, where that was evidence-based and market-led. And across the public service, one of the common things that we found was that the leadership across the public service, or the compensation in leadership areas, was extremely far from comparators in Jamaica. We're not talking about externally. And what the compensation restructuring was able to achieve, and it's a restructuring, it's not an increase. In a salary increase, everybody gets the same thing. It's a restructuring, it's recomposing compensation in a way that allows us to attract and retain. And for the leadership across the public service, we had adjustments to compensation that were significant. I just want to share a few of them with you. Just give me a minute or two. Well, I'm here to do it in a minute.
Should I play them in
a minute? So here we have the salary adjustment in the teaching profession. For principals of the largest secondary schools, they were paid at 2.9 million to 3.4 million. April 1st, 2023, they're at 8.5 to 10.9. For principals of the smallest secondary schools, 2.2 to 2.6 to 5.6 to 7.2. For principals of the largest primary schools, from 2.4, let's just look at the starting, 2.4 to 7.
Principal.
For principals of the smallest primary school, from 1.7
Principal.
to 5.6. And
I'm
that's just,
actually glad you brought that up because I remember you making that point during the negotiations, but it sounds to me as if you hadn't picked up or you don't understand
No,
that
that's
there
a
is
different-
significant, no, I'm referring to that,
Yeah.
that there is in fact significant anger within those sectors
Yes.
as well because
Yes.
of what is seen as a huge disparity
Yes.
in what the people at the top have got
Yes.
compared to the people lower down.
absolutely.
So
And I
there's-
can address that.
so-
I can address that, but allow me
so
to
that
present.
point doesn't appease anybody
No, no.
who is upset at the
No,
parliamentarian
honestly, you don't
salaries.
understand the point I'm making. The point
absolutely.
I'm making is that the adjustments in salaries for parliamentarians and ministers occurs in the context of adjustments to salaries for the leadership levels across the public sector.
I understand.
And then we can. So
And
now allow me to.
the point
so
I
allow
was
me-
making though is that the concern is
So
that
this-
those adjustments as a whole were inequitable in relation to what is now the gap between the leadership and the
Okay.
rest of the
We
the
can,
rest of the
once I
sectors.
present it, I'd love to have a chance to address that. In the nursing profession, just I'm having the two top levels. The same if you were to go with the top 3 or top 4 out of 8. They were at, the persons were at 3.5 to 4.2 million, and now at 9.2 to 10 million. The level 7 from 3 to 3.6, now at 8.2 to 9.5 million.
Minister, you're not
For the-
comparing, as a colleague of mine likes to say, mangoes and mangoes. You're not, because what you're doing is showing us, for instance, you're showing us nurses, you're showing us teachers, you're going to show us lawyers in a moment, you're probably going to show us judges,
Look.
you're going to show us what else you have. And the concern
People never show
is
that part. They
you-
never show that
5 to
part.
4.2 million.
Hey, man, dig down in
allow me to-
the point
so
I
allow
was
me-
making though
Look.
is that the concern is
Never
that
shown.
those
People never shown them.
adjustments as a whole
Never show the
were
arm, man.
inequitable.
Oh, it's funny.
Principals of the largest primary schools.
Look.
2.4. Let's just look at the starting. 2.4 to 7. For principals of the smallest primary schools, from 1.7 to 5.6. And
I'm
that's just
actually glad you brought that up because I remember you making that point during the negotiations, but it sounds to me as if you hadn't picked up or you don't understand.
No,
You don't.
that's
There
a
is
different.
significant, no, I'm referring to that,
Yeah.
that there is in fact significant anger within those sectors
Yes.
as well because of what is seen as a huge disparity
Yes.
in what the people at the top have got
Look.
Yeah.
compared to the people lower down.
Absolutely, and I
there's-
can address that.
so-
I can address that, but allow me
so
to
that
present.
point doesn't appease anybody
No, no.
who is upset at the
No,
parliamentarian
honestly, you don't
salaries.
understand the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that the adjustments in salaries for parliamentarians and ministers occurs in the context of adjustments to salaries for the leadership levels across the public sector.
I understand.
And then we can. So
And
now allow me to.
The point
so
I
allow
was
me-
making though is that the concern is
So
that
let's-
those adjustments as a whole were inequitable in relation to what is now the gap between the leadership and
Can-
the rest of
can-
the
We can,
the rest of the
once I
sectors.
present it, I'd love to have a chance to address that. In the nursing profession, just I'm having the two top levels. The same if you were to go with the top 3 or top 4 out of 8. They were at, the persons were at 3.5 to 4.2 million, and now at 9.2 to 10 million. The level 7 from 3 to 3.6, now at 8.2 to 9.5 million.
Minister, you're not
For the-
comparing, as a colleague of mine likes to say, mangoes and mangoes. You're not, because what you're doing is showing us, for instance, you're showing us nurses, you're showing us teachers, you're going to show us lawyers in a moment, you're probably going to show us judges, you're going to show us what else you have. And the concern is that you are showing us the salaries of highly qualified professionals. And you're comparing it to
But allow me
cabinet
to
ministers.
let me at least so
most
allow
of
me
whom
allow me
we
to
don't know
show
what they
it.
do,
You told me you'd
minister.
give me a minute to show it. So allow me to show it
But
and
your
then
minute's
ask me the
gone.
questions.
Your
No
minute's
man.
gone.
No, I just gonna
No,
show
but
all of
you
them.
don't have to go
so
through
so
every
legal I
single-
want legal officers 4.9 to 10
Minister, you
and
don't have to
4.1
go
to
through
10.
all of that to make your point. I understand the point you're
I just
making,
have
that there has
I just
been...
have 2 more.
No,
It's
but
not
it's
for
the
you.
same point.
It's
You're
for
making
your
the same
it's for your
point.
it's for
No,
your
but
watchers.
you're making the same point
I'm doing
over and over.
It's across the public service. I'm
And
showing
I understand that,
it
so we
is-
don't have to look at 10
So, well,
billboards
medical
to
doctors.
understand
No, I have
the
one
point.
more. I have one more. Medical doctors
Well, I have to
went
break.
from 3 million to
I have to break,
8.2,
so you can
2.6
show
to
me during the
7.3,
break.
2.2 to 6.3.
Well,
And that's for the civil service.
let's go. No, you don't. Let's go to the break.
Yes.
We'll soon come.
Show me to the break. Why? The lady want tough man. Lady, me respect you. Jaja. You try to show this woman like a class you come with a whole different card and placard. Me don't know what that for. Me don't know, Lord Jesus. People, me gonna listen. Me gonna make you hear something here. From the same woman here, right? And Nigel Clark. Me gonna listen. Me gonna introduce you guys to another vlogger me listen to. His name is Jaden Chase. So me listen a little piece of him / a little piece of Andre Stevens. Cause I'm sure Andre Stevens stuff too. You understand me? So listen to this. You know, people, cause anyway the news them there, you know, we have to get it and put it together. So the people can get the message. Jaden Chase. Good vlogger. Hold on, people. Good vlogger. It's so like a youngster. I mean, like I'm doing work, so me always second time I share stuff.
Back to the channel, Jaden Chase. Now, church leaders are calling the recent wage increase given to Jamaican politicians as immoral and shameful. After it was exposed that despite other Caribbean countries doing way better than Jamaica, their politicians are not even being paid close to a fraction of what is being paid to Jamaican politicians. Now, it has been revealed that together, the Prime Minister and his wife will be banking over 50 million per year. Now, we can hear what I want, and they will continue the reasoning. Look and listen.
Parliamentarians are now going to be getting and compare them to what elsewhere in the Caribbean is paying.
Nigel Clark
so
again.
the Prime Minister of Jamaica, for instance.
So we know that these salaries, I mean, we've done our homework, so I don't know that these salaries.
You don't want me to share with the public.
Put parliamentarians and ministers in Jamaica higher than any other country in the Caribbean region.
To stop me from sharing.
No, I'm not.
Okay, so
I am saying to you, I'm familiar with it,
but
and I'm sharing it as well.
Are not. So let me go ahead very quickly. Prime Minister for Jamaica is going to be over 25 million. Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister is 13 million. Bahamas 13. Minister of Finance for Jamaica 21.7 million. Trinidad and Tobago 9 million. I'm quoting everything in Jamaican dollars. Bahamas 10.2 million. In Jamaica, Cabinet Minister will be at 20.2 million. Trinidad and Tobago 9 million. Bahamas 10.2. And an MP in Jamaica will be at 12.5. Trinidad and Tobago 3.8. Bahamas 4.3. How on earth do we justify these levels of salaries in a country that we're certainly doing far worse than Bahamas? And when you look at what is happening elsewhere in the region, there's absolutely no justification for this, surely.
Okay. So, again, first of all, Barbados, Trinidad, and Bahamas have not entered into a public sector restructuring. The way in which they have recovered from COVID has not put them in a position that they can add this amount to their wage bill to pay their public sectors. Jamaica is the only country in the region coming out of a pandemic that's been able to offer these levels of adjustments to its public service.
Because the
parliamentarians, given what we're seeing in terms of our level of development and our per capita income compared to those other countries.
But because of what we are going through, the experience that we have, Dion, we are unable to attract and retain the talent that we need to run the public bureaucracy. That is going to change in salaries alone will not fix it, but it will go a long way towards addressing that problem.
Lies.
Last year,
listen, Jaden Chase.
Starve the children. They started to force the people, but I want to make you aware tonight, Jamaica.
Andre, listen this. Listen to Pacha.
Nigel Clark. Nigel Clark.
Andre Stevens people, the boss.
The new monies that you print. Nigel Clark. Let's call him a second.
Everything add up, you know. Yeah, man.
Nigel Clark. The new monies that you have printed. Is there any truth to the argument that the monies are not readable at the ATM? Nigel Clark. The 1 billion Jamaican dollars that was spent on printing new money. Are of those monies readable at the ATM machine. The new monies that you said going available 2020-23 of June. Tell the people them if the money them can read in at the ATM machine them now. Tell the people them tonight now, Minister of Finance. Tell the people them if the machine them read the money.
Jaja Andrew Honest. People, me have something else to play for now. That was Jaden Chase. Go check him out. Go check out his page, man. Go follow him. He might do good work over there. Him clean page. Clean page. So the church come out. People want to play something for you. Want to hear what the UIC president has said about all of this. Because the UIC have a voice too, you know.
200 or even 300% in his case. While the vast majority of Jamaicans are suffering the effects of nearly 8 years of bad governance under both the GLP and PNP, can only be described the things that matter. If we don't have a good constitution, then nothing else matters. Big up Queen Bee, blessings to you as well. Yes, it's utter madness what the Prime Minister and the opposition leader and these two colonial parties are trying to pass off on us. So I'm going to talk about that right now, and then we're going to talk about the actions that we're going to take to address that very important matter. So let's begin. The Prime Minister's decision to give himself and the other fraudulently elected members of Parliament a raise of over 100, 200, or even 300% in his case. While the vast majority of Jamaicans are suffering the effects of nearly 8 years of bad governance under both the GLP and PNP, can only be described as wicked, heartless, and inhumane. Having borrowed on the heads of the Jamaican people trillions of dollars that were misappropriated, stolen, or wasted, the GLP and PNP have concluded that it is in our best interest that they be given a big pay raise. We know that both parties have colluded to hide from us the facts of FinSac and other ways that they have fleeced the nation. And here they are with another stunt. The GLP and PNP have robbed us of our lands, yes, that their colonial masters stole from our ancestors by forcing us to slave at low wages to buy back the very land that were already ours by birthright. Since so-called independence until now, they could have used the last 60 years to properly return the land as reparation to the people, but instead they chose to create garrisons, ghettos, and force the many into squatter communities. These two colonial parties, with the full backing of the PSOJ oligarchs and their foreign masters, used partisan politics to divide us and distract us so that they could steal our wealth from us. They tricked us with land lease. They tricked us with the NHT. They tricked us with all kinds of political government schemes. In fact, 75% of those who contribute to the NHT will never get a benefit, and many Jamaicans will never be able to own a house under their convoluted plan. In fact, everything they touch has failed and will fail. They could not maintain the JOS bus system. They had to sell Air Jamaica. They cannot manage our airports. They sold out our tourism product and various industries to foreigners. They killed the agriculture industry, such as coffee, banana, and sugar. They cannot manage crime, nor the dollar. They cannot give us a good education system or decent health care. They cannot provide us quality, affordable homes or roads. In short, unless we're forced to pay toll, of course. In short, they can do nothing. They have failed on every single one of the basic metrics of government. Why then should we pay them let alone pay them an increase. They have run our economy into the ground and made us more of a third world country than we were 60 or 80 years ago. Our GDP per capita, or gross domestic product per person, is less than $6,000 a year today, after more than 60 years of independence. While Singapore, which gained independence 3 years after us and has less than 1% of our natural resources, they today have a GDP of over $60,000 per person, and a crime rate that is less than 1% of ours, with a population that is more than twice our own. Why then should we reward failure with 100%, 200%, or 300% pay increase? They deserve to be fired permanently. In fact, they deserve to be charged, prosecuted, and punished for making themselves and their PSOJ backers wealthy at our expense. We should be calling in an international fraud squad to forensically investigate each and every one of them to ascertain where their wealth came from. How is it they amassed so much wealth while in office almost all their lives? Where did the money come from to build the luxurious homes that they now occupy? My friends, there should be no pay increase for these fake leaders who were fraudulently elected by buying votes paid for by the big money elites of the PSOJ who owns and control them. The JLP received only 21% support of the electorate in the last election. 21%. While the PNP got 16%. Combined, they got 37%. This tells us they're not legitimate, because 63% of the electorate chose to abstain. By not voting, the 63% made it clear they wanted neither of them. But all of us, all 100% of us, are being forced to pay nearly $2 billion for these failed leaders, failing leaders who continue to fail us election after election. You might recall, if you're paying attention, that they have been forcing us to pay over $2 million in salary, housing, and office for a pointless and useless Governor General every year, while many students lack the equipment and supplies they need in school to succeed. They have made many of us economic refugees in other countries by failing to provide us a safe, clean, and orderly society where we can all live, earn, and retire with dignity in true liberty. They do not deserve a pay increase until they deliver good governance now. So here's what we have to demand. We're going to have to make some clear demands on them. And if they refuse to meet these demands, then we're going to have to take actions. Yeah? We're going to have to take some serious action. So here's what we're going to demand from these failed leaders. Of course, I know they won't be able to deliver on these, because if they deliver on these, they would be denying themselves the opportunity to continue to rip off the nation. So they're not going to do these things. But nevertheless, we're going to make this demand. And if they do not acquiesce to these demands, then we have every justification to take appropriate actions against them. So if they want an increase, here's what they're going to have to do. First and foremost, the Prime Minister should honor his promise of giving us a fixed election date. So we should have fixed election dates for general and local government elections. That's number one. Give us a fixed election date, first and foremost. Number two, honor your promise and give us job descriptions for MPs and ministers and senators. Very simple. Give us a job description so that we can know what is it that these people are doing. how much time are they spending doing it, and how effective are they at doing it. So a fixed election date, so you can't manipulate and play with us anymore. Job descriptions, so we know exactly what senators, member of parliaments, and ministers of government, including you, Mr. Prime Minister, give us a clear job description so we can check and see what is it that you are supposed to be doing and how well are you doing it. These are promises that the current Prime Minister has made, and it has been over 7 years now, and he's unable to find the time to make these basic adjustments. The third thing we must demand is performance-based pay. Very simple. We wouldn't have any conversation about big pay raises if we had this. Give us performance-based pay so we see how your performance is and you're being paid relative to that performance. So for example, you could have performance indicators such as the crime rate. As the crime rate goes down, then you're getting a bigger percentage of your base pay. As the economic GDP goes up, as wage level rises for the average Jamaican men and women, as the road traffic fatalities caused by bad management, bad roads, and all of that goes down, the quality of the roads, just the general quality of life. Let us have some indicators for those, and then we see how you're performing relative to those metrics, and your pay is tied to that. We want to have, Mr. Prime Minister and opposition leader, JLP, PNP, effective separation of powers. That's very simple. This is something that we've talked about as a people for a number of years. From in the 1990s, we had some very extensive conversation about the need to devolve power from the Prime Minister's office so that we can have effective checks and balances. So we must demand effective separation of powers between the Senate, the House, the executive branch, and the judiciary, so that power is not concentrated. Because when you have absolute power, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So the more power you concentrate in the hands of a few is the more corruption you have. And we have a prime minister that is very powerful by virtue of a very bad constitution, one that is designed off the colonial principles of master-slave economics, which gives him excessive powers and concentrates power and creates many avenues and opportunities for corruption, which I've explained in other videos. So we need, number 5, effective checks and balances, one of which is the separation of powers, and there are others. Number 6, we need to have an independent elected Senate, no more partisan appointments. So we need a system where senators are elected and not appointed by the Prime Minister and the opposition leaders to do their biddings. So number 6, we need independent senators, elected senators. Number 7, we need grassroots candidate selections instead of party or party delegates selecting who is to represent them, who's to represent the people. So we want to make sure we have a proper system of representation and no longer the gimmick that we have now, which gives parties and big money extensive control over our system. Now this one, number 8, is really powerful. It's a key UIC policy as well. And that policy speaks to having a 100% publicly funded campaign financing system. What does this mean? It means under this system, the PSOJ oligarchs will no longer be able to use their big money to control our electoral system, to control the parties and to control the candidates and to therefore control our government. When we have a 100% publicly funded system, as the UIC has been advocating now for years, you're going to eliminate big money controlling the system, because every single candidate will be funded equally. They will have the same access to radio, television, newspaper, internet, town hall meetings, and debates. And it doesn't matter if they're rich or poor, because the access is the same. So equal access, equal opportunity, right? So that is a profoundly effective system. So if you want a pay raise, Mr. Prime Minister, just go and read the UIC's manifesto, and say, let's take all of these good governance measures and implement them so that when you're getting more money, it's because you have done something significant, something which has been transformative for Jamaica and not the status quo of electing different rubber barons, from green or orange to robbers, and then we vote them out and the cycle continues. So
people, that's UIC. You can go on UIC page on YouTube and go listen and watch Mr. Patterson speak some more. But we have to bring this stuff up. Everybody who have a say in this, because when I hear from the opposition party and the other one, so this is opposition, right? Some have to play, right? Fear and balance, people. We have to stay fear and balance. There's no need to suppress Mr. Patterson. We have to have a fear and balance around here if we're going to do this. We're not hearing from Mark. You know, I said, if him this come talk me a plate. Yeah, but maybe say we find something else to play for, because then people take people for fool. They take people for fool, yeah, man, because them things were born at night, last night or something like that, run so up, so down, so. I don't know, because, yeah, we have to play the UIC, because UIC I speak their mind for the people. And I don't hear, you like Mark Golding and the whole of them, I don't know what them I do. I see them come out. I see Mark Golding come out, right? Not Mark Golding, this other brother here. Him come out and say, him don't know what happened. Him don't know nothing about the money. Him don't know nothing about it. And one of the PNP. Yeah, but the PNP really come out and say them don't know nothing about it, and them never did it, and they never hear nothing, and they never know nothing, and they never know, and they never see it, and they never hear, and they don't know nothing about the raise. But look here, man. Me a big man. The whole of our friend up in there. Nigel Clark come told us that him and Mark Golding are friend, and his wife a friend. Una friend, una co-worker. Just like prosecutor, judge, and defense attorney. You guys are all our friend. When I'm working at my job, I know when my salary is I know when we're gonna get raised, and how much the raise is gonna be, and what check the raise is gonna be in. So me don't want nobody come tell me say no man no know and try to take themselves out of this thing. That not fly for me, people. It a fly for you. Tell the truth. It not fly for me. Not fly for me. Not fly for me, people. So Dayton Campbell people, same they know. They don't know nothing. It's like they don't know. Me no see Mark Golding, send a few man out there. Them hear the more peace, and there's no more peace in the PNP party. PNP party sucks too, You know. Yeah, you must say people. Them man them suck because them not come out on the issues. Me tell you already. Me not lie. So that was UIC, and that's how I feel about the thing. So make we play that piece of clip here. No, hold on. What the next one there? I'll find it, man. I'll find it. Because the PNP, they might come out and go on like say them, no know nothing. But me not gonna believe that. You can't tell some other people that. You're too old. You took me all like fool. You can't fool me. Try something else. The PNP, I said, them don't know what happened. Because them never did it, and them the Labour made the decision on their own, and them never did it because this amount of them, but that amount of them over there. So, you think we are picking up a child around here, man? You think we are a little kid around here, man? Are we little kids around here? All right, so when the race come out and see say dropping on the P, it pop up. You must get email from Nigel Clark say, look here, this is what your paycheck gonna look like. So no go home last night, go tell the wife and the family, say, look here, we get big pay raise. Look here, whoa, we good baby, look. But I want to hear it on social media last night, the piece of caning when I get up on Andre Stevens last night and all them thing there. And we bloggers are talk about it. Then appear this man with that lovely letter. Like we're stupid. We're not stupid about this. If you didn't know, why didn't you guys come out with the astronomical amount of raise where the judge get then? Then why you guys don't come explain to the Jamaica people if you guys are part of this money thing where Andrew owners are doing this cashless thing? You know, come tell the people, the man say there's no problem, there's no harm, man, me in it, me there behind it, man. And the thing we not do and go like say we idiot and we're stupid and we're not looking at PNP. I wanna say, man. We not come out. We not hear from Mark. When you're too big for come out, come address the nation. Are you too big for come out, come address the nation? You're too big for come out, come address the nation. Let me turn up my 2x4 cane per year, brother. You take this thing for. You're too big for come out, come address the nation. This is a thing that not work, man. Shutting up not gonna work. Shutting up not gonna work. Not at this time. Talk truth, people. Nah, man, shutting up not gonna work, man. Shutting up not gonna work, people. Nah, man, shutting up not gonna work. Sure. I'll come on so with the shut up and you know come warn the people, but you can send out some local man. So other man can sit down and address this. You're the boss, you know, come out, make a hear. Hear where you're in, man. Come out, come here where you're the but you have all right to come out because you get your check is almost as big as the Prime Minister. So if you lay down there bed all day and not say one word, you're good. Me not wrong here, man. Me not wrong here, man. If you lay down there bed all day, people, the man not get the same check like the Prime Minister. Think about it. Why come out, come do anything and rock no boat? Him don't have to win no election. You know? It's either I do or come up for the toilet, man. Because when I see the PNP, I do nothing, man. Tell me, I tell you, some people don't like when I talk, you know. They come out and say, Carlos, no, man, no, do nothing about him, man. Talk about Andrew Honest, man, like when I think so things go. No go say, yeah, man. Not under my watch. Everybody get a lick, man. UIC get beaten too, you know. When I know that. You know, so I beat up UIC sometimes. I'm not sorry for nobody, man. At Jamaica, we are talking about how put country over anything. No time for joke right now. Damn shame. Now I take this big old fat pay raise and go like say, we must talk about it and we must sue no. Damn shame. That Andrew Honest thinks I'm smart. He might drop the cashless money. Big old story I go on. Drop the cashless money news. And at the same time, he might drop the story with the big raise. You know, so them plan it. It's a planting, man. So while all we vloggers and everybody are chased down the red ball, which is a cashless dollars in Jamaica, going cashless, it's like them a laugh off of we. You know, because them know them might drop this big bombshell here. So when them drop the cashless stuff, is to ease the pressure, my people. It's to cushion the blow. It's to make it look like take the pressure off of the raise. But right now, it's like people remember no cashless right now. People remember no cashless. Nah, man. People remember no cashless. People talk about raise, which really gonna leave us cashless. That's the real cashless right there, no? And the real cashless is so people. And people now do nothing for you, man. I do it for the country. You know, want to speak up periods. PNP now do nothing for the country would require such a periods. Labour right now do it for the country requires such a periods. Unconscionable. It's like a robber. Come hold up and take your stuff. And expect the teachers and the civil servants to give nibbles and bits. Must, out of their poor little salary, must pay you guys millions of dollars. Same time the hospital have nothing. The garbage them can't pick up in Jamaica. Jamaica is like a garbage land now. The crime, police don't have no equipment. Just read the other day, police have to take flag down taxi to go on crime scene. So many people leave the island. Most recently, we see air traffic controller strike under Andrew Honest. Immigration worker strike under Andrew Honest. Water Commission worker strike under Andrew Honest. NHT worker strike under Andrew Honest. Police march under Andrew Honest. The police and the government in a court for wages under Andrew Honest. Teachers are left the island under Andrew Honest. Teachers march under Andrew Honest. JIS workers strike under Andrew Honest. RGD workers strike under Andrew Honest. Waste management workers strike under Andrew Honest. People, contractors come out and embarrass the government under Andrew Honest. Government can't pay Papa burial, funeral home over $100 million under Andrew Honest. The company who make Nutri product come out in the paper, embarrass the government, say they want to quit because the government not pay bills under Andrew Honest. Company that makes school uniform come out in the paper, embarrass the government doesn't pay anything. And embarrass the government in the paper, say they want to quit. Who want to quit a government contract? Nobody with a little company want to quit a government contract. The government got to be a really worthless government under Andrew Honest. You see all this stuff happen under Andrew Honest. People going across the Mexican border, dying on the street of Mexico. We don't know how much they are in the desert and the jungle trying to escape under Andrew Honest. How much more first we want? How much more first we want? Now, this a pay raiser. The biggest budget Jamaica ever see under Andrew Honest. The biggest political pay raise you ever see under Andrew Honest. The most crime under Andrew Honest. But still, they are acting as if Jamaica is doing good if you should listen to them. PR stunt after PR stunt. PR stunt after PR stunt, like when they come out with the $1 trillion budget. You thought that Jamaica was going to be beautiful. But teachers' pay still late. Them still late on teachers' pay from last year. Some teachers in December didn't even have a Christmas meal because only politicians get paid those times. Them late on the teachers' pay. They blame it on a new system that they have. So the new system still have a glitch all this year up till now. The lies these people tell. I know for them pay now go stick. No, politicians get a raise from last year, 2022. So guess what happened now? That raise is announced this year. They have to pay them retroactive. Retro. They have to pay back pay. Yes. But the soldiers are owed back pay. The police have them in a court. Can't pay the police them, you know. But you want bet politicians will get them retroactive. Millions of dollars. You can't find millions of dollars get judge. But you can't find the money get police. Police have in a court. Rank and file police for overtime wages. 14 years now. We can't find the money to pay police in a time when we have so much crime. It is a deliberate action to make the country rotten like this. Look how much gun there on the street. Man have gun on the street like cellular phone. You can't look like you can get a gun in Jamaica faster than a cellular phone, it seems. So many things are going on in our country. Yet them turn a blind eye. No improve, boy. Everything are decreased and a mash up. Lives are lost. People are run away from the island. People are afraid to go to the island. But you guys are reward yourself with this kind of pay raise. 100, 200%, 300% pay raise. And everybody else must sacrifice like a 20. And Nigel Clark and all them must try to side up themselves with doctors. Because doctors get, some people don't get pay, might get a 100% raise. But these people that they give 100% raise, been owed a raise for so long. That know that they get the raise. Cost of living and inflation just eat it up. Because they don't get a raise in so long. And now they act like they want to side, like politicians. They might call out doctors and all these professionals who get raised. Like, since they get raised, why we can't get raised? Politicians, they don't have to have no education for being a goddamn politician. You don't have to go to school for being a politician. A lot of dunce in there serve right now. Never gone to school for nothing. And want to size up on themselves with professionals who go to school for this. Come on, man. That's their justification. They also come with another justification here from Morgan this morning. He said politicians now gonna have no other chance to underperform. Now gonna have no excuse to underperform or be corrupt. The minister, for them mouthpiece, right? Nestor Morgan. He came out and him said, with this type of raise, can bring up the Singaporean model because him a follow UIC. But the only part of UIC argument in teeth is the part of the Singaporean model where them pay the politician them enough money so them not thief. But you want betting enough like a Jamaican what them get out there. But what him failed to tell the people about the Singaporean model, that them chop off politician up at top. Then discipline them. Big politician, I saw them do it, I saw them get their country clean. They didn't want to listen to UIC good. He will come away with the part where him say, them get paid. I don't know where him get that from. He said, politicians in Jamaica have no more excuse, basically, to underperform or be corrupt. So from now on, I'm expecting all the labor right there to sign a code of conduct and to honestly claim asset, right? That's what he's saying. There's no more need for politicians to be corrupt. That's what Nestor Morgan said this morning. Nigel Clark give a different reason behind that. Nigel Clark said the pay raise is not for now, it's for the future. He give us something to put on. So like I hear the pastor tell them, and the nest egg, they must set up for the future. When the teacher need it now. Police, you need it now. Soldier, you need it now. Security guard, nurses, you all only need it now. Correctional officers, RGD worker, JIS worker, you all only need it now. Contractors that make Nutri product, you all only need the money on time. But these politicians, Nigel said, this raise is not for now. It's for later. Just like the pastor said when we just read for a while ago. While people are hungry now, they must set up them nest egg for later, down the road. Tell me if this is cruelty, people. You tell me. Isn't this cruelty? To the highest level. The highest level of cruelty me ever see in my land. When nothing is going on, the road them bad. The hospital bad. No MRI machine. No CT scan. No burn unit. When I was a little boy, me go down a Black River Hospital, go get an x-ray. There's needle breaking in my hand. Yeah, sewing needle. I told you guys the other day. I went to Black River Hospital when I was a little boy. There was an x-ray machine there. What happened now, Jamaica? It's stuff like this. It's grifting like this by the board party. It show you say them have no conscience. It show you how much them take big. Don't I tell you all the time, when politicians take money, the whole of Jamaica shake? Didn't I tell you that? They never hear say $400 million missing out of a Tufton office, out of the Ministry of Education. $400 million. Them people that don't have conscience. Them people don't take little bit people. They don't take little bit. Who dare them to give themselves raise? They work for us. They work for us. I'm supposed to please the public. We, the public, do not agree with you guys getting such a large raise. You guys should get the 20% raise that you give to everybody else. Talk true, Jamaica. 20% raise like everybody else. Same percentage. Fear of fear. The country cannot afford that. We're not topple the country. We're not even mash down the country. We're not mash down the country from I was born. From 1962, the country I go way down in a hole. Keep going down. But they keep on telling the Jamaican people, how Jamaica do good. Every politician come in there, them have them more peace to make you feel like the country I do good. Look on it now, I said they never name it out. Look on it now, good. And this is the level of cruelty they enforce on the people. This is the level of cruelty. When I was born, my people, when me have sense, let me explain in so many videos. And it give me pleasure if I say these things over and over again. Because a lot of young people don't know. They must go born, come to Jamaica, and they must see Jamaica as a place where they have nothing. Like we are papa, we are idiot, and we have nothing. Young people. When we grow up and have knowledge as a youngster, sugar factory, they all around Jamaica around, sugar factory, employ thousands of people. Whenever you pass a sugar factory when men and women are get off work and get on work, enough people, lot of people right around Jamaica sugar factory, my people. Sugar industry was up running. People have them shops and them bars and them restaurant outside the sugar factory. When the sugar worker them come and them support. Everybody eat food, food are run. Big industry. We have a coconut industry, my people. We have a banana industry. Our coffee, cocoa. We export. Used to walk around Jamaica and see oranges. People used to plant fields and fields of oranges. Local Jamaicans. One heap of orange. The dairy industry. My father used to work on a dairy truck. Used to carry turns of milk From St. Elizabeth all the way to Bagwalk. Start to pick them out, pick up churns of milk out of Luana, all the way to Clarendon Park. This Clydesdale truck load with milk in churn, the aluminum churn, going to supplement factory. I don't know how that's why I love supplement, so people. I swear to God. That's why I love supplement as a big man. Come to think about it. He used to work on the truck. My father used to work on the truck, and I used to go with him sometime as his son. Because I love drink the milk. And I couldn't wait till I reach on a Elam Agriculture School. Because them send milk there too, you know. Elam Agriculture School was popping. And them send churns and a lot of milk them send. Elam Agriculture School have the best milk. People, when I go there, I wait until we reach at Elam Agriculture School and I start drinking the cold milk. We used to bring little sugar in a quart bottle. We put little sugar and shake up the milk. Man, they call it a supplement magic. The raw milk coming out of cooler. Because all of these dairy places have them own cooler from out of Luana all the way to Clarendon Park. Dairy, man have dairy. And we go pick up all this milk. So all them things they strong in Jamaica. Export market up. We have our own train. We own bus stop everywhere, phone box everywhere. My people, we own train, we own plane, we control the own airport and seaport. We own all of that. Nobody not own nothing. We own we seaport and we airport. What happened to our country? Tell me if we better off since 62. Tell me if we better off. We live for our country, lose everything. We have so many factories in Jamaica. What kind of factory you remember in Jamaica? What kind of factory you remember? Remember the Jackie factory? What kind of factory you remember? You remember Bata? What kind of factory you remember in Jamaica that was in Jamaica? We never have no call center and them nonsense like we got now. We have real factories, industries. Whatever happened to them, they pack up and left with land. Somebody said, good year in St. Thomas. Good year in St. What other factory you know in Jamaica, people? Put it down there, so. Someone said free zone. Eh? The country used to be popping. What happened to it, people? Good year was there too, free zone, yeah? That was Jamaica. But these young people grow up right now. They never know these things. They might go come see a broke Jamaica where we don't own a port, we don't own an airport. Now they must sell off a land and mash up house. Jamaica come from so much, you know. Now they must mash up people's house. Take away land, forgive rich people. First time people, when I was younger, we have more access to beaches. Right around the country, people are my line. We have better access to beaches, people. Berger Paint, Steel Factory. They say, people, they mash up a country. Both sides. It show you how much them mash it up, people. Look right now, no man. Look what money them take now. Some of CMP Products and Marcus Garvey Road, JK Industries. Me rotted. Me never even remember them see people. Some of all of me, Sherwin William Paint. Ah, Jesus God. Eh? Eh? All this thing. People, all this thing we have in our country. But for whatever reason, you want to run guys, shut down everything. Near out, mash down, corruption. Turn it land in a blood country. Butter. Eh? People. Look how the country I come from, people. After slavery. Leather factory. Rotted. Tanner's leather factory. At 3 miles. Not true? Colgate. Zinc factory. I want the Them a say them want run around this place and pull out me ear in my head, man. Look what we used to have. Right after independence, we were set on the cusp to survive. But guess what I'm left it with? A bunch of thieves. Politicians in Jamaica will always steal out of office. Why? They don't go to jail. Nothing will happen to them. If the PNP steal, the JLP don't come investigate. If the JLP steal, they don't investigate. The PNP don't investigate, because why investigate me when I'm gonna go in there and do the same thing? That means they're gonna make investigate me too. Come investigate. You know what I mean? Them know each other. That's why you see two of them come around here in a 2023 under the big sunshine and drop this ridiculous, vulgar pay raise for themselves against us, who them supposed to serve and please. Them working for us, not the other way around. But them displease us, make every Jamaican angry, home and abroad. Yesterday, this man called me and cry over this pay raise. The man cried tears from my phone. Yesterday, I told you guys. This brother called me and cried tears. He wept. Man live overseas, he's a businessman. He wept for the poor people in Jamaica and said, why them so wicked? Why are they so cruel? You and I know so nobody don't get 100%, 200% and 300% raise. This is ridiculous. Where this come from? Where these men come from, where their hearts at? And expect the teachers them wouldn't give nibbles and bits. These guys supposed to get 20% raise. Just like the teacher them a tell says, hard time guys, only 20% raise me can give you. Them should get only 20% raise. Or skip a raise, because they really don't deserve a raise at this time. Nothing in Jamaica been taken care of. You tell me anything in Jamaica is no good. I want to get the tourism, and it's not like nothing Edmund Bartlett I do. People just love Jamaica and love come there. So sometimes you hear the people talk about say only Edmund Bartlett alone to get raised. What special him I do? Tourists still are come there with or without his ass. Tourists been coming to Jamaica from hippie days. Them still are come. As long as Bob Marley song still a sing, and they don't stop play. One love, one, let's get together. They need Headman Bartley for tourists come to Jamaica. None of these guys deserve no raise. Look how crime a kill we. Why you get raised a bad job? That's not the heart. Even church have to come up and rebuke, Eh? Now, Andrew Honest, come out there. You come out there with your nonsense. I come pray. Like you think, say, and I ask God to, you repent and ask for forgiveness. Andrew Honest, your relationship with God need some people say, oh, the primes are sleep at night. Let me answer, Uno. Him no lose sleep, man. Seriously, Andrew Honest will lose sleep over that. The father thinks that Andrew Honest lose sleep because nah, man, the man will lose sleep. So let me play a little piece of this brother here before me left. Because all them things have to play, put together for him nonsense, because they need a better information minister, because this brother sound like he's not educated, or if he's educated, he don't know him and don't put the words together and then have everything locked tight. Nesta Morgan is ashamed to be he's ashamed what come out of him out as a information minister. Him not sound good people. They must can get some better. I mean, knock him. This position is bigger than Nesta Morgan. You have vibrant Jamaicans out there who know to come speak, who's hot on their feet. You just so like you. Nesta Morgan so like someone about weed and just high every day and just slow. I don't lie me I tell. No, me not knock the weed smoke at them, but if so like so look what this man just smoke weed every day and slow. Slow. Me not lie, I'm not sharp. I know you talk about Jamaica, we want the best and the brightest, whether who in the power or the opposition to represent us. You understand me, guys? So we can hear what this guy is saying.
Opposition spokesperson on finance said that he's fine with the increases. And then today, another opposition from the same party said that they're not fine with it. So I'm trying to understand which one. So the opposition spokesperson on finance.
I'm speaking to the release that the People's National Party.
But you said opposition first, Mr. Hall.
Yes.
You never said PNP. So there is an opposition and a PNP.
You're ready, man.
know, I'm not good way to withdraw it, but I'm asking to respond to the release from the People's National Party this morning, sir.
It's the same argument that we have to ask.
Listen here.
We know that a large number of opposition MPs lobbied the Ministry of Finance for an increase. We know that as a fact. So when the press release said that they never had any discussions, that is actually not really true. And there's a reason why Julian Robinson said what he said yesterday. Because there was significant feelings among the opposition benches that they needed an increase, and there was anticipation as to what the increase is and when the increase would come into play. So the issue with the opposition deciding which is their real position is something that they're going to have to make a decision on. I cannot comment on that from this platform. What I will say, though, Arthur, is that we as members of parliament, and I'm not speaking as Minister of Information, we know that this has happened, have an almost mandatory obligation to demonstrate to the people of Jamaica that this increase that has been given to us means something.
Listen this year.
For them. It means, and I want you to allow me, Arthur. I don't know if your hand is getting tired. I'm going to answer the second question. It means that MPs have to, if they were doing 100% before, they now have to go to 150%.
Okay.
It means that ministers have to step up their game if they weren't stepping it up. And Prime Minister had a conversation with us because I think he recognizes as well the position that we have been placed, not by our own actions, but by the public sector transformation process has essentially placed us in this position where I'm here this morning trying to justify to you something that none of us really even knew. I never knew this was going to happen, and the level at which it was. I'm sure most of us didn't even know how this would manifest itself. Prime Minister was very clear to us yesterday that the dynamics of our engagement as ministers and MPs has changed. The Minister of Finance yesterday spoke about that this is not an increase for the present, it's an increase for the future.
Are you there?
Lee Kuan Yew, when he was running Singapore,
listen this,
said that he's going to pay his government people so that they have zero excuse to either not do their jobs or to be corrupt. And I think we as government, opposition, executive, the excuse of not being paid well is off the table.
You hear these people? You hear them? You hear them? So the reason stop them from being corrupt and make them do more work. I want to hear these guys. These guys is not polished. I'm a Jamaican, I'm a proud Jamaican. I want somebody more polished to be in this guy's spot. Put him somewhere else where he can be more useful. You understand me? Talk truth, people. This guy's not polished. So like some ganja head somewhere. Exactly your son. Laughy and all nonsense where there's nothing to laugh for, and you're not pronouncing the word them properly. In a time like now when the youth them and listen, they want to hear somebody with sound like them have sense. We can have some garbage sounding mad and represent. We up there on podium. The man don't sound well. So like you're high somewhere. Can listen piece time again.
Said that he's gonna pay his government people
so
that they have zero excuse to either not do their jobs or to be corrupt. And I think we as government
for either not doing our job. Look here, we have to pronounce a word properly. Especially look here, we are Jamaican, you understand me? I'm a proud of a patois. But the sort of position like those, we as Jamaican know say you have to represent well. We don't see no flabber no flim flam. Because I want position somebody throw in your lap. We want to see better representation. There must be other spot that this guy can go excel. He's not ready for this yet.
Meant opposition, executive, the excuse of not being paid well is off the table. What needs to happen now, and the Prime Minister was very clear about it, is that MPs and ministers, and I think on both sides of the aisle, now have an ultimate responsibility to demonstrate to the people of Jamaica, even more than they were doing before, that we're working for them.
You know that they were
Second
doing...
question.
So apparently late...
And MPs lobbied.
Just listen to the brother, man. Just listen a little piece of him. Listen talk. Just a little piece.
You know that as a fact.
Just listen talk. Just listen
So when the
speak.
press release said that they never had any discussions, that is actually not really true.
Listen him speak.
And there's a reason why Julian Robinson said what he said yesterday. Because there was significant feelings among the opposition benches that they needed an increase, and there was anticipation
in a smooth man
as to what the increase is and when the increase would come into play. So the issue with the opposition deciding which is their real position is something that they're going to have to make a decision on. I cannot comment on that from this
with dear.
platform. What I will say, though, Arthur, is that we as members of Parliament, and I'm not speaking as Minister of Information.
Not Parliament.
We know that this has happened.
This.
Of an almost mandatory obligation to demonstrate to the people of Jamaica.
Mandatory.
That this increase that has been given to us means something for them. It means, and I want you to allow me, Arthur.
And I want you to. And I want you to. You not ready?
I'm going to answer the second question. It means that MPs have to, if they were doing 100% before, they now have to go to 150%.
No, they have to go do.
It means that ministers have to step up their game if they weren't stepping it up. And Prime Minister had a conversation with us because I think he recognizes as well the position that we have been placed, not by our own actions, but by the public sector transformation process has essentially placed us in this position where I'm here this morning trying to justify to you something that none of us really even knew. I never knew this was going to happen and the level at which it was. I'm sure most of us didn't even know that how this would manifest itself. Prime Minister was very clear to us yesterday that the dynamics of our engagement as ministers and MPs has changed. The Minister of Finance yesterday spoke about that this is not an increase for the present, it's an increase for the future. Lee Kuan Yew, when he was running Singapore, said that he's going to pay his government people well so that they have zero excuse to either not do their jobs or to be corrupt. And I think we as government, opposition, executive, the excuse of not being paid well is off the table. What needs to happen now, and the Prime Minister was very clear about it, is that MPs and ministers, and I think on both sides of the aisle, now have an ultimate responsibility to demonstrate to the people of Jamaica, even more than they were doing before, that we're working for them.
Minister.
Second question.
People,
the first question. But before I answer.
People, tell me if this is the best Jamaica have to offer. Beside a bunch of crap in my talk. Is this the best Jamaica have to offer in terms of someone who can speak to us more fluently? No, like, me not diss me now. But more somebody in that position speak better than me, man. Chat better than me, man. Sound like you're brighter than me, man. We don't chat bad enough people. But come on, man. If you're in that position there, you better represent well. Anything that he might come out, come talk, you know. And the world is listening to him. Him are the information minister. Man, so like him high, brothers, but there's nothing to laugh about. Nobody in the room will laugh. And the brother bust out a laugh. Several times. The word not pronounced good. I pay this and Z and you know that, you know what I mean, that and those and this. Nah, man. Nah, man. Now, you see Mr. Patterson just talk a while ago? You saw Mr. Patterson talk? You don't even sound like Mr. Patterson. But there are a lot of bright people right there in the Labour Party too. There are a lot of brighter people, young people, who speak better than him right in the Labour Party there. Why not give a garbage every time? Like how they give Andrew Honest. Andrew Honest must be removed from office for this. We don't know more talking to Andrew Honest. Andrew Honest is unsalvageable. It's like whenever a car will crash and there's nothing to save from it. You have to just walk away and leave your car. You can't even take out the rims off it and go sell it. Nothing on the money for salvage. Andrew Honest have done so many things. There's nothing to salvage from that man. And this guy right here must go. This guy, Nesta Morgan, is garbage. If you're going to come out here, come tell me anything, we want you the best and the brightest. At least sound like you're brighter than me. God damn it. I don't like people. I don't like, you know. And them probably as well. But me don't know. Sound like you're brighter than me. Me know a man sound like a weed head. Up there, laugh, and when nobody not give nothing for laugh. And I talk about this and those and them. But don't hear that, man. Nah, man. Nah, man. Unacceptable. And all you talk about, I come to come grin teeth when people ask a question, and nobody in the room now laugh. You sound like you're high. To me, Jaja, family, bless up yourself on the platform, you know. Freedom. I'm a Jamaican. I want to know how the die-hearted people are feeling now. Them going to die hard. Rowan Morgan, Bob Marley said, don't let them fool you. That's right, my brother. Mystic Sensation, bless up Audrey, shall bless up Audrey. Big up yourself, Mystic Sensation. Guys, go watch Mystic Sensation. When you go on Mystic Sensation, I told you guys, go watch them. It's like you're in a university when you have the page. I think it's a husband and wife. Them over the people, Mystic Sensation. You watch Mystic Sensation. They do long videos. Half a day what a video them do, husband and wife. Hard work. It's like you're in a university when I listen to these people. Me not lie you. Go listen to them. I think I lie me I tell. Husband and wife team. Bad. Warrior for Jamaica. Go and watch Mystic Sensation. My people on my platform, me not tell them to go watch no garbage, you know. Me would never tell them to go watch no garbage. You don't know that, right? It's one of the warrior. They said they're a soldier in the army. Go and support them. Them brand new on the scene, but go and support them. They need all the support. Anybody that do the work for Jamaica. Because a lot of people not doing it, you know, people. So many of us overseas give up. Just dust off here and I say, sure, how am I made about Jamaica for? People to do vlogging, it take a lot of work. It take a lot of work and research, putting the stuff together. It take a lot of work. And it takes stuff out of you too. You have feelings as a human being as you report these stories. So it take a lot of work, for, especially if I have a job. If you sit around a camera and I deliver to the people, I wait for the delivery. And they can't give them no nonsense. All the people will go and left you and start cussing out in the comment section and say you lie. And you clickbait and all type of stuff. We see people that are bloggers. And they have to change their ways. One such blogger on social media right now, people beat him so much because he deal with clickbait and him always lie. The same blogger on social media, even though him probably watch the video, so we not call him name because he repent people, he might do better now. But on his blog, he come up and say, them broke into the Governor General house. Yeah, man, he do a blog and say them breaking into the governor, thief broken into the Governor General house. But when we get on social media, I start dig. Me dig everywhere, me looking at every news, people me search. I couldn't find the story up till this day nowhere more than that on that blogger page. Me burn him out too. Me burn him out aloud one time. Now him so like my Christian people, Peter God him a talk about. I swear to God. He said change your ways. And it look like say my change for real people. Yes, people might change around. Clickbait vlogger. But he's doing better now. You know, so big up everybody out there so do a wonderful job. We are support the vlogger them because without Uno, we are nobody. We need you guys to listen, comment in the stuff here. So tell me what you think, tell me what you feel. As usual, I am a student in your guys' class. That's why I always say make sure your comments make sense in every sentence. I am not the only student in this class. Me a student, Una student, the whole of the day have to learn. You're never too old to learn. Any day you think you know enough and you don't want nobody tell you nothing, you're a fool. Because you lack of information, you lack of learning, you lack of knowledge. You cannot too old to learn. You can't be too old to learn, family. I could have one day before you go in a grave at 200-year-old. A man can teach you something. You can also learn from a madman. You know, people, a man have this big degree and this big old head to teach you something. You can learn from a madman. Dig this. Dig this. How about this? When we used to grow up in Jamaica, right? When we grew up in Jamaica in our town square, you used to have people of unsound mind there. We used to have a madman in that town square, right? And sometimes around these people of unsound mind, a madman, we call them madman in Jamaica. In the town square, when we grew up, and we hear them attack some things. Some reality, you know, from the madman, you know. And man, I go around and say, what? The boy is no madman. Boy no mad. I just clean up the boy, what? I must speak, so. How many times we hear some good argument from a madman? You can learn from anybody. Even a madman. Because we as Jamaicans know, say, there's a lot of people of unsound mind who are in our community. They out a shop corner. Sometimes them are reason where I want to say, them really mad. So you can learn from anybody, family. Me never be too big to learn. My head big, but you not so big. Anyway, family, thank you for watching this video. Tell me what you think in the comment section. I've touched on Nigel Clark. I've touched on the UIC. I've touched on what the pastor them blast this cruel act from these guys. And I can't wait for you a Mystic Sensation have to say and for them page about it. Yeah, well, for you a Mystic Sensation with for them blog about this stuff. Because I know them all go deep. People go check out Mystic Sensation and not joke to me upon. They go deep. Lot of knowledge, lot of things to learn on Mystic Sensation page. They will take you back to school. I won't lie to you. I won't lie to you. I won't tell you about a nonsense page. Go on those people page. Sometimes we watch some stuff on social media that we don't learn anything from. When I watch Mystic Sensation, I can come away with knowledge. Thank you, Mystic Sensation. Thank you. You're your husband. Thank you to all. Enough love, manners, and respect. I don't know where to come from, where to spring up from. But God said to come from a moment like this. All of us. Like yesterday, man, that was crying to me. The man said to me, say, Carlos, what if Jamaica never have no bloggers like Uno? He said, Carlos, what if there was no vloggers? He said, Jamaica that turn Haiti. He said, Carlos, what if there was no vloggers? The man a cry and a weep yesterday, people. But thank God for those of us who got raised up for a moment like this. It takes a special type of person to look at the camera and speak truth to power. You have to be ready to give up a lot of things when you do this. If you even come for your life, you don't care. A lot before me have given up their life so others could have a better life, right? Many before us. So can't be afraid to speak. Because we're afraid of it dead. Some of us are dead for some of us to live. That's how we look on it. We're not selfish. And if even dead, they can't kill what me said. We have tons and tons of video out here. For generation, for generation, for generation. So people can learn from. Lot of knowledge. That's how we look on the people. That's how we look on life. We come out here for a moment like this. I mean, it's not selfish. We want better for Jamaican. You understand me? Me not take no political side. On one side me that take and a UIC or anybody will rise up against them two beasts here. Me not jump on the boat, but you know, on a certain condition. Come to the time, as I say, I'm giving you this knowledge in the people. I mean, I'll be biased with this information. Up to the time, the UIC was the only party will come out and tell us, oh, no, don't take the joke. PNP and Labour right there joined forces and I run it down for stab way up in Jamaica with it. Now we see what people are jump out and what is happening. Joseph Pattis was right on that. We have to give him that, you know, people. Because history have a thing for a history we are talking about, you know. In March and it get arrested. And look what happened now. Maybe later on we can write a book about it, right? Joseph Pattis was right on that. Now me never copy them cashless stuff. Joseph Patterson think nobody must control the money like that. And I agree with Joseph Patterson and those two principles. We now go on the corner and talk, people. And we not going to hide the right information from you because we don't want nobody hear about the UIC because a PNP if you push or Labour if you push. It must not work like that. Me a couple of times I'm giving you the truth. Because PNP and Labour have the big old bully press them out of Jamaica and sing praises for them all day, every day. So me not gonna forget the UIC. Regardless of what I go on. Because people don't some stay, you know. Me a man just love the underdogs. Because when I was in Jamaica, I was one of those people. I was one of them. The one in the corner too poor for going to the light down there so. Me not dress up too nice so I can't go to the bright light, go sit down like you. Me have to go to the dark with all my poor friends them in Jamaica. We don't have shows, we hold the corner. So we are grassroots people from long time. Low limb fall. Yeah, man. And some old levels people up till this day. so we don't more for support a grassroots movement than them are too criminal there. After when they pull off Panway. And Mark Golden can't come out and give you a proper explanation as to why go on. Uno say uno this and somebody say uno that. The only way me believe the PNP, unless them say because them ask one of the PNP guy, me that look for the video for play for uno, but we can't find it right now, it slipped me. So them they ask one of the PNP guy, when them again Dayton Campbell, about if the PNP is gonna give back the money instead of them thinking that them talking, them having meeting. Comment section, tell me the truth. You think they might give back this money? Or you think so the PNP will give back this money? Me say they gone home and tell their wife already, man, how much raise they get, man. Baby, they don't have to go home. Babe, you can't believe how much raise I get a while ago. I don't know, me. I must have dream, baby. Me go to toilet same time, if say me want me a running belly. The amount of a 300% raise me get, baby. What? Are you kidding me? Baby, me don't know if I knock Nigel Clark, knock him head out, what? 300% raise, baby. Now we are going to Dubai. I'm here by the Range Rover fare where you always want. Can you imagine? Politicians, when they hear somebody get them type of raise when they call their wife a yard. Baby, I heard. I think we can, I think we can go to Paris this summer. 300% raise. That is some enormous amount of vulgarity. Like somebody said yesterday, almost criminal. Well, let's see what will happen. Me not believe the PNP until me not have more respect for the PNP if the PNP refuse that money and say, you know what, give us 20% just like everybody else. That's what the PNP should call for. People, them that deserve no raise, you know. But anyway, give them 20%. If it's a me alone, we give them a 5, 10. 5 first year, 5 second year, and 10 the other year. So make it 20. Just like the teacher them. And they've been throwing 20 around. Teachers, if anybody know about the teachers themselves, you guys really getting 20% raise? People, want to know, you teachers, are you getting, what raise you getting? All in fast I say, Carlos, to tell you the truth, I love it if the UIC could come on board. Trust me, he's a Jamaican. Just need him to come out more often. And I man, if you come on road, man, you have to do road, and you know, things, you know, just like me too. I'm gonna keep looking back and looking back and looking back. I can't see the UIC make the corner. We can't see them about the hill. So I don't know what much to say on that story. We just go on. Mr. Dave said, Don Carlos, boy, thank for a big up UIC party. Please keep the link with them and give them some ideal, bro. Bless up. Ideals, I guess you want to talk about idea. We're not going on the road about idea right now. We're not going on the road, but the UIC need to be heard because when I hear from Mark Golden and the PNP, we hear from both of them all the time. Them got the bully pulpit. Then, you know, and it's all about Jamaica. It's more than me. It's not about me and how I'm feeling. So Mystic Sensation said, we need a change from the delusional. No, the dinosaurial. We need a change from the dinosaurial politics. Need fresh brains with great ideas for forward movement. That's not lie. People, we are dying slowly as a country. Slowly, people. You can see how much these people take. Can you imagine how much they might take? What we don't see? Imagine, they just buy $1.7 billion. $1.7 billion from the IMF. So that's what they borrow the money for do. We are going to pay it back. Hold on there. So they borrow this money to give themselves fat raise. Right after the heel of SSL. Right after the heel of COVID. No conscience they don't have. Tell me what you feel about this in the comment section, my people. Let me big up a few of you guys here before me left like I promised. You know, Arthur Phillips. Big up yourself. Shell, Rel Swite. Man has enough respect. All in faster again. Enough love, my friend. Fire burn. Go on, fire burn. Bless up yourself. Freedom. Manners. You know. And Mystic Sensation again. Mystic Sensation, guys. Do remember. Go follow Mystic Sensation. Those are the page that you need to follow. Debbie Jervis, big up yourself. Olive Knight, man, has a respect to you. You know. No, bro, it's best to chat our language. We understand that, but no, when you're in a spot like that, you must be polished. You can't be Warmington and all them man there. You have Minister of Information. Me not lie you. Even the Minister of, even Nigel Clark talk way better than that. No, me not beat to language, you know. But when you're in a them spot there, more of it hear you polished. And I like me to tell, and that's the truth that talk, family. When you hear Dr. Nigel Clark come out, you know, same bright, don't you? At least to a certain level. Ah, boy. Yo, me love the people, let me know. With a PNP and Labour, right, you know. Them represent us. Them are just thief. Me don't like their ways. Some of us see the best I come out of my country. And the best and the brightest for the job. Just like when they give Chang, the doctor, a warrior job. Doctor no kill people. Doctor save life. So why would you give a doctor a warrior's job? Eh? Look at the people in a certain job. The Minister of Technology, Darrell Vaz and all the position these guys. What kind of brain Darrell Vaz have? What kind of, I mean, is he qualified for that job? Me see him on Andrew CV there, and the internet a chop out of him yard. I'm a Minister of Technology. If me a Minister of Technology, my internet up. Him and their yard and he see that chop up, I'm a Minister of Technology. Me say we don't have the right people for the job. We have a soldier as police commissioner. When so many top cop in the work up in the ranks, in them khaki clothes, we can best do a better job. We have all type of wrong people for the job around here. Mr. Tufton, what kind of doctor is he? What is he doing in the Ministry of Health? Where am I over there? That's wrong people for the job around here. Think about me, I say, people. Little outsider girl. Lil outsider girl. What go on there? Man has enough respect. Man has a respect. Beverly Small. Beverly Small, big up yourself. Want to Bev Smith, people? Well, also see Bev Smith. Is Bev Smith good? Bev Smith. Me miss her. Well, also see Bev Smith, people. Another warrior, you know. When you see up on Wayne or Andre, I know she always up on the page, on my page. Bev Smith. When last you guys seen Bev Smith? Bev Smith, we miss you. Natalie Mullings, big up yourself. Rachel Brown, Manas. We know that sometimes Bev Smith come late, you know. Douglas Allen, what go on, General? Yeah, man. Wisdom cometh. Man has a respect to each and every one of you guys, you know. And if I name in a call, no take it and beat me. No hold against me. Here, me not have nothing against you, but you know you go. I love seeing you. I thank you guys for being here. And make sure your comments make sense in every sentence. And may God go with you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Or later if me knock my head. Me not have no special time to do videos, people. I'm known to get up out of my bed 3, 4, 5 o'clock and do videos. Me not care when. Anytime I get the energy, the word have to come to me to do videos. Right? I love you guys. Respect. Like or share, no man. Like or share. We have 2 minutes to the Pada Draw TV. We know so I go watch Pada Draw TV. Like myself too. Let me have time. You can watch it if you have time. I normally watch it on the last part or you know the dead life sometime I have time. You know. But I watch Pada Draw TV too. I know enough of honor so. I'll go over there. That's true. Respect. Bye.